Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and hello if you're new, make sure you subscribe, that way you'll never miss out on another pick a card reading. I do one on my channel every single Friday. Today, we're actually going to be getting into this full moon in Scorpio. It's also a supermoon and it's also a total lunar eclipse. Lots of high energy, and I chose to use a lot of these specific decks because they really tell you the truth. They get in deep. Okay, they go deep, and it just resonates so much with the Scorpio energy. Make sure you watched my Scorpio full moon, 5 things you need to know to be ready for it, because you can work this moon in your favor. There are 5 ways that I let you know how to do it. You don't want to miss that. And then we're going to get a little bit more deeper in today. So I chose to use a lot of black crystals and black cards and a lot of my darker decks. Okay, the darker decks speak the truth. They are very blunt and they are very honest. So we're kind of going to get into that energy right now. Very blunt, very honest. So what I'm going to have you do is pick a pile number or a crystal that you are being drawn to, which makes your heart tingle a little bit, which makes you feel something. So pile number 1, the oval black tourmaline. Pile number 2, the pyramid black obsidian. Pile number 3, the black jet. Pile number 4, the black heart obsidian. So which one is calling you in, which one is drawing you in, and let's get into your full moon in Scorpio reading. Okay, pile number 1, everybody that picked this oval tourmaline crystal. So this specific tourmaline, this is my personal one that actually sits with my Gali on her altar 24/7. I decided to bring it out for the Scorpio reading because this is such a dark, like shadowy, dark feminine type of energy, and I wanted to bring this out because Kali energy, Santa Muerte energy, these energies are so good to work with right now because we're in their phase. And so I wanted to bring it out, and it tells me a lot. It tells me, first of all, tourmaline, black tourmaline helps to turn negative energy around you into better energy, positive energy. And so around this time in Scorpio, our shadows might come out. Scorpio full moon, and it's a super moon on top of that. And then on top of that, it's a lunar eclipse. So what I want to say is that I feel like a lot of your shadows, okay, look, one thing I want to mention is that sometimes we bury our shadows. Sometimes we bury things, suppress things, shove it under the rug, don't want to talk about it, don't want to confront it. And Scorpio full moon kind of brings our fears and what those things that we need to confront right in front of our face. So in this case, and sometimes it is things that you have put away, like you really have like put away, but sometimes life happens and sometimes something may remind you of something in your past. You may get triggered. Even if you heal the trigger, sometimes some things may kick things up again. But we need to know in those moments how we can nurture ourselves back into a healthy place. And that is what Scorpio full moon is all about. Your shadows will come up through your entire life, but it is how we nurture our shadow, how we make an ally out of our shadow, and also how we tame it and tell it, nope, not today, not right now. But in this case, I have a lot of messages for you. So this first card that I want to get into, it's the revenge card. So a lot of your shadow, I feel like your shadow self, which is like, you know, that part of yourself that is a little hurt, you know, and also a little darker and a little more maybe morbid, maybe this, maybe that. But it's that shunned, neglected part of you. And everybody has their shadow self, and their shadow self will keep coming throughout your entire life. And that's scary, but it builds our character, and it lets us know where we need to set which boundaries and what we're okay with, what we're not okay with. It teaches us a lot. So in this case, I feel like a lot of your shadow self has a lot to do with revenge. So a lot of you right now with the Scorpio full moon, things might be kicking up where you feel like you want justice, where you feel like you need revenge, like you feel like you want to see this person fall, and you want to see this person suffer, and you want to see this person miserable. Or maybe a company that did you wrong, you want to see them like just go down. it just feels like there is this energy of revenge within you. And why do I see that? Because this card right here, right across from it, the bride in a cage. So I do feel like there's something in your life that you have gained, that you have manifested, that you brought into your life, that you cultivated, you grew, you nurtured it, you harnessed this, okay, whatever this is. But this very thing is putting you into this space and energy of you wanting revenge for something. Like it could be, say you manifested your perfect relationship and somebody just keeps intruding. So now you're just like, okay, this person needs to stop and I need to do something. Like your ego kicks up and your shadow self kicks up. Like they're trying to intrude in my relationship. This is not right. You get angry and defensive and you want to react. Or it could be like, you know, you got your perfect job and now you have kind of outgrown it. And now you're kind of like bitter. Because you're like, this is my perfect job, but now I'm ready to grow and I don't have the space to grow, you know? Or it could be you manifested your perfect house and now maybe you had like 2 kids or you adopted a cat or something like that and now you need a bigger space. Or maybe you got married when you were living in your house, you were single and now you're married and you need a bigger space. So now it's something like this is your manifestation, but you've outgrown it and now you're kind of bitter. And your shadow self is going to come up right now to teach you, don't be bitter. Do not act in revenge or defensiveness or anything like that. Do not react in those ways. Take some time to yourself, a little bit of time alone to reflect, to really think about everything that's going on. Journal if you need to, listen to music. I don't know what you need to do to relax. But do something where you can relax and be alone. You need to be alone with your thoughts because I do feel like there is this energy of something trying to be downloaded into your head, something trying to come into your head, like a message from your spirit guides, maybe from your ancestors, but it's a message trying to come to you, but you can only receive it if you are quiet and still and alone. For me, it's bath, shower. I usually do the dishes, I'm alone, and I just like silence because I'm doing something with my hands, but I'm still completely in my mind, you know? So what is it for you? Because what that's going to help you do is clear the excess, which is this vengeful, revengeful bitterness that you carry inside of your heart for the very thing that you once loved, okay? You're entering a transitional phase and would benefit from clearing away excess clutter, whether it's in your physical body or your physical space. Okay, declutter, get rid of garbage, get rid of old photos, get rid of dust, get rid of things you might be hoarding, get rid of bad, dirty, smelling laundry. These things harness an energy. And listen, if you bought your dream house, and then you kind of started to neglect it. Maybe you just work so much, right? And then you have piles of clothes everywhere, dishes in the sink. You come to that very house that you dreamed of and you kind of get stressed in it because of the way that it has evolved, what it has evolved into because you're busy or because you've neglected your manifested house. So everything that you have manifested in your life, treat it like gold. Because that's how you're going to manifest more. When you have bitterness and harness a resentment towards these are things that you once loved. We need to understand why we hold this bitterness, why we harness this like energy of revenge towards the very thing that we love or maybe used to love. You know, if you want to let it go with love. If you want to keep it, then understand why is it that you're harnessing this bitterness and this revenge energy. And you can only do it when you're alone. There's something that will come into your brain when you're alone. And you will understand everything and it will free you from this cage. And Scorpio does that. Scorpio full moon likes to free itself. And the last card that comes up is energy field adjustment. So look at this, 2 cards of the energy and clearing the excess and energy field adjustment, aura cleansing and health. So you can sage yourself down. You can use incense around your whole self, around your whole house. There's a need for an energy field adjustment. For me, you could do it with sage, Palo Santo, camphor, What else? You could you could smudge yourself down with herbs. You could do a spiritual rinse. You could do a spiritual bath. You can actually just go out in nature underneath a tree. And as soon as I said that, this blue jay came in front of my window. Let me see if I can show you. Right there, right there. Do you see him? As soon as I said that, that blue jay just showed up. I think that's a little sign for you guys, a little message for you guys. Not truly sure what blue jays represent, but I do know this blue jay comes to right in front of my window every single day, and he takes little like branches and stems. So I think he or she is making like a little nest somewhere here. Definitely it showed up in your reading. So there is a message if you guys want to go check out what a blue jay means, blue jay symbolism on Google. Definitely there's a message in it, and I'm very curious too because it's been showing up a lot, and I do want to know what is it trying to say. These are messages that we call forth in our reality, and right now I'm doing a collective reading, so that blue jay has a collective message for you guys. So cute. But I do want you guys to also, another way that you can what was I just talking about? I was talking about you can stand under a tree, and that's all you basically need to cleanse yourself. Smell the air, just listen to the leaves crashing into each other with the wind. Like, it's beautiful, it's nature, it's natural, it's for me, it's like God, you know, God is in everything, especially in trees lately for me. And as soon as I said that, the blue jay just went right into the tree. So big message for you guys, cleanse your energy and stop showing bitterness and hatred towards something that you once loved, something that you actually attracted, but maybe try to figure out why are you so bitter towards it? Why do you feel trapped in something that you used to love? And I think that's where this Scorpio full moon is going to highlight things. You know, where is it that you feel trapped that you used to love, and what happened? Why? And how can you get it back? How can you get it back? I want you guys, if you have a black tourmaline crystal, keep it with you, sleep with it underneath your pillow. Carry it with you. If you have the jewelry, you can wear it. And if you have a black candle, light the black candle with the tourmaline crystal right around it. It's really, really good and protective. I hope you guys have a really, really good full moon, and I'll talk to you very, very soon. Bye. Pile number 2, or everybody that picked this pyramid right here. I have a lot of messages for you, actually. I have some strong messages here. I didn't really pull from tarot today. I wanted to do a whole full oracle reading, and I'm really, really glad that I did because, oh my lord, the messages is very, very good. I don't even know where to start with you guys. Okay, so let's start here. This is what I have my cat's hair all over. This is kind of where my energy and my attention is focusing on first. So we have persistent drive. See what you desire and move toward that goal. And it's time to zero in on your purpose. Use your intuition and instincts to guide you for the optimal outcome. And then right underneath that card, we have the vulnerability card. And it says, open your heart and allow yourself to be tender. So here what I'm seeing is a lot of you, now I want you guys to make sure you watch my Scorpio full moon video breakdown, like 5 things you need to know, because you can really, really work and harness energy from this moon into your favor. You guys can benefit so much from it. So what I'm seeing is a lot of your shadow self might come out around this time, and your shadow self is basically things just lurking beneath you that you need to nurture. Like when your shadow self comes out, you need to know how to nurture yourself in those moments. You need to know how to handle it. You need to know how to process it. You need to know how to control it. And for a lot of you, what I see is your shadow self has a lot to do with being like a workaholic, just very persistent, very driven, very, very ambitious. And in this space that you get into, you don't allow yourself to be vulnerable. You don't allow yourself to stop. You don't allow yourself to open your heart, to lead from your heart. You kind of just think with logic, and you're just like, you don't really want to mess around too much with the heart space right now. I feel like a lot of you are just so driven, and maybe something pushed you to be this driven and neglect your heart space. Or maybe that you just kind of you just are that way, where you're just very driven and it's very hard for you to connect with your heart space and your emotions. And so that could be an aspect of your shadow self that may come out, is you're going to have to slow down. You're going to have to slow down, and you're going to have to be a little vulnerable. So there may be conversations you're going to be having that may go very, very deep, very emotional conversations, very needed conversations, and healing conversations, whether that be with yourself or a therapist or someone else or somebody in your family or a friend, whoever this may be with. But rest assured that this conversation will come. The fact that you picked the pyramid tells me that the Scorpio full moon is going to boost you upwards, more towards your divine self, more towards a higher version of you. There is an energy work that will be done around this full moon in Scorpio. And the energy work that I see that's going to be happening with you is you're going to be a little bit more vulnerable. You're going to be opening your heart space a little bit more. You're going to be slowing down with whatever you are driven in. It's going to slow down a little bit because you have to slow down. The gift of neutrality. Balance is at work in your life. So you can't just work. You can't just ignore. You got to balance. And so that's at work in your life. Yin and yang are opposites in energy, but they rest side by side to create the gift of neutrality. So that's kind of what's happening with you around this full moon. And these two cards right here. This persistent drive energy that you do have is kind of telling me that you have built this wall around your heart, right? Look at opening your heart. It's hard for you. But this full moon is going to actually teach you how to do it. And don't be surprised if you do find yourself in a situation or circumstance or space where you are opening up a little bit more. And it will be natural. When you do it, it's going to come natural. Trust. Because all your chakras are opening up. So that, it's going to come natural. There was this energy of like you closed your heart off so that you could be driven. You closed your heart off so that you could, work the way you needed to and wanted to. Or maybe you started working that hard and that much because something happened that closed your heart off. So it could go both ways. And for a lot of you, look at this card right here, fated to suffer. For a lot of you, I feel like you feel like if you open your heart up, if you are vulnerable, then you're fated to suffer. That you're going to get rejected, or that it's going to fail, or it's not going to work out, or you're going to get cheated on, or you're going to get lied to, or this or that or that or that. Or, the job is just you're not equipped for it, you're not smart enough for it, you're not experienced enough for it, whatever this case may be. I do feel like a lot of you are very, very driven, and it has helped you so much, but you are at the point of burnout, and you are at the point also of neglecting your emotions and your heart and your feelings. And this Scorpio full moon is just going to try to bring that out. It's going to try to bring out your heart, your emotions, the thing where it's not in an unhealthy way. It doesn't have to scare you. It's going to happen in a balanced way, like the cards are saying. You're going to balance your drive with your heart. You're not just going to be driven because you want to ignore your heart. A lot of people are so driven and ambitious and workaholics and all that because they want to ignore your heart, or they want to ignore their own heart, or they want to ignore something that has to do with their emotions. When you do that, you are it's like if there was clutter in your house, right? Or like a pile of dirty laundry that was sitting there for a month. It's kind of what I feel like happens in our spiritual heart space. That's how I see it. Like if you just keep suppressing and repressing and ignoring things and neglecting things, it'll pile up like that nasty pile of dirty laundry, and bugs could get into it, dust could get into it, it'll get even more stinky laying there, and some of your favorite clothes are dirty because you can't even wear it. So what that makes me feel like is like some of the most best aspects of your life just kind of get piled over with dirt and all this stuff, and you can't even experience it. Just like, dirty laundry, our favorite shirt is in there and we can't wear it because it's dirty until we clean it. So that's kind of what this Scorpio full moon is doing. It's kind of doing this energy work to just re-shift you back into a balanced way where you still are driven. Trust me, you still will be. You're not going to lose that, but you're also going to be more open with your heart space, speaking your mind more naturally, and not just closing yourself off to everything and everyone. And so yes, this is going to be a reading. I hope you guys enjoy. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you very, very soon. Bye. For everybody that picked pile number 3, or this jet crystal, very interesting because jet is one of the lightest. This is so light, you guys. It's like a feather. So light. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is a crystal or like something that gets created over so long in rivers, so with flowing water. And so I do feel like I hope you guys have watched my Scorpio full moon video, because I talk a lot about what's going on here in your reading, which is trying to transmute something within yourself that is emotional. Try to transform something in yourself that is emotional, that is actually hindering you, that is blocking you, that is caging you in, that is making you feel trapped. So I feel like naturally you are a person that loves to be lighthearted. You don't like carrying heavy energies around. You don't like feeling heavy and tense in your body, in your emotions, in yourself, in your mind, in your spirit. And I kind of see a lot of the things why. There's so much that goes into your reading. I don't even know where to start here. Let's get into this Gilded Regret card. So this card is telling me that a lot of you guys are living in your past. With the Scorpio full moon, remember, Scorpio full moon will bring out your shadow self. And we get to learn and see how we deal with our shadow self. Do we make it our ally? Do we react? Do we defend ourselves? Do we get angry? How do we react to our shadow selves? And our shadow self is basically just things that come up. And it's different for every single person. There's actually a quote that goes with this Gilded Regret card that I want to read to you because I feel like it just goes with your reading so much. It says, "I feel like living in the past. Please give me 5 more minutes to linger." And then we have this card right here, which is the Black Flower Fragrance. And this card is basically, the quote of this card is, "The world is unfair. And F off, dear world, F you." That's what the card says in the description. And these two cards together, what they're telling me is that there's something that you regret. There's a regret of yours that you hold on to so tightly. And you are able to sometimes like brush it under the rug or ignore it or neglect it. Maybe even some of you have even healed and processed it. But sometimes life happens and we are reminded of those very things that we did heal and process. But in those moments and spaces, we need to learn and understand how to nurture ourselves back to the place that we are, or that's best for us. And in this case, I feel like you built armor, or you built armor using your regret. And because of that, for a lot of you, I feel like you have very low self-esteem. You think you're ugly. You think you're stupid. You think you're wrong. You think you shouldn't be listened to. A lot of that low vibe energy, but it's coming from a place where you've built armor, or with your regret, and what it created for you is you feeling and thinking all of these low vibrational thoughts about yourself. And let me get into this. This goes deep. This is the deepest reading yet. Beauty, grace, loveliness, integrity of form and spirit, and shedding the old. There is a change coming your way. Scorpio full moon is bringing it. It's bringing you out of this energy where you feel like you're not worth it because of something you regret. Let it go. It's time to let it go. Whatever. Look, shit happens. We are human. And A rose, whatever color it may be, it's still beautiful and it still functions as a rose. It still has thorns to protect itself. It will still bloom. It will still give rose hips. It will still be beautiful and thrive. It's just nature and nobody can stop that. And so that's you. Whatever color of the rose that you are. Even if you think you're a black rose, you are still beautiful. You're different. You're exotic. You are, you know, just mysterious. And even if you think you are a yellow rose, a blue rose, a red rose, a white rose, what other color? Pink rose. There's so many different roses, whichever one you resonate with. And whichever, like, I feel like a lot of you think that you are less than, when actually that's not the case. You have so much beauty that you're kind of just hiding with this one regretful moment that keeps kind of coming up. And that's your shadow telling you, you need to either put this regretful moment in the past, you need to move on from it, you need to let it go, you need to forgive yourself and just move on. Your life is too precious, way too precious. You are the black rose and you're mysterious and beautiful and very rare. And we need to shed the old. We need to shed those things that created that armor of regret, and then you gilded it. You made it shiny and you made it strong, and that's not fair, because your armor should be of love and prosperity and attraction, not built off of your regrets. No. And this is what the Scorpio full moon is coming to kind of show you, and your shadow self might come up and pop up and surface up to show you you are so freaking beautiful and so freaking pretty, so freaking handsome. And there's no reason for you to create this armor around yourself that is just built off of things that you're embarrassed about or regretful of. Let it go. We are human. Everybody does embarrassing, regretful things. Everybody. It doesn't mean that you are an ugly flower. You know what I'm saying? There's no such thing as an ugly flower. They're different. They're unique. There's no such thing as an ugly flower. Okay? Now the next card that I want to get into is this one. Total submersion. Don't be afraid to totally immerse yourself in a project, interest, or goal. Give it 100% of your energy, and you may find what your life has been lacking. What your life is lacking is a new way to look at yourself. And so this Scorpio full moon might present you a brand new way to shed that gilded armor that you built around yourself, made of regret and embarrassing moments and regretful moments, so that you can bloom in whatever form of flower that you are. So immerse yourself totally in whatever that calls to you. I actually have a tattoo on my foot that says, respond to every call that excites your spirit. It's a little line from a quote from a poet named Rumi. And I just feel like I wanted to tell you guys that. Respond to every call that excites your spirit. I got that shit engraved onto my skin so that I always see it and remember it and live by it. Because if we don't, then we are wasting our life, okay? And you living through this armor of regret, you're just wasting time and wasting so many things that you could bloom into, so many things you could grow into, submerge yourself into. So your assignment here for this full moon, the supermoon, is to create a vision board. Number 33, 3 doubled. It's the number of creation doubled. So this is going to be very powerful for you. I want you guys to make a vision board. Get some magazines, print out some pictures. If you don't have that, write some words. What I like to do is take magazines, or like the AAA magazine. If you guys have AAA, they give you a magazine every single month. It's like a travel magazine. Oh my God, I love that. I will cut it up and I have a vision book. So I put things in there. So whatever it is that calls to your spirit, vision book, vision board, write down a list of goals, whatever it is for you, journal about it. But I want you to write at least 5 things that you want to change about your life, about the way you see yourself, about the way you look at your life, about what kinds of things you want to experience in your life. Okay? That's your assignment. And if you have a jet crystal, work with that. If you can go near water around this time, it will be very cleansing and helpful for you. You can also take a bath, take more showers, and drink more water, drink more teas. You could do spiritual rinses, anything that you work with water. is going to be really good for you, because what you're doing is you're transmuting and transforming something in your emotional state. Okay, so that is going to be your reading. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you very, very soon. Bye. Hello to everybody that picked pile number 4, or this heart crystal. There is a few messages here with the Scorpio full moon. First thing I want to get into is your heart chakra. Your heart chakra is going to be opening up, and I feel like, okay, I want you guys to go watch my Scorpio full moon video if you guys have not seen it. I want you guys to watch it because there's a lot of ways that I share in there how you could use this energy into your favor. And for a lot of you guys, I feel like you can. There's so much going on in your reading. Where do I start? Where do I start? First thing I want to start with is Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, and Pluto is the ruler of death, rebirth, and transformation. Scorpio also rules sex. And look at this card right here, making love and erotica, divine sensuality. So I do feel like the Scorpio full moon brings out a lot of our shadow self. And our shadow self, we can, even if we heal it, even if we put it away, even if we ignored it, even if we neglected it, brushed it under the rug, sometimes things in life happen where our shadow self comes out. And our shadow self is that part of ourself that maybe we have not healed, and we just need to kind of deal with a little bit more. It's a darker version of ourself. And in this case, I see a lot of energy around your beauty, around your sexuality, around how sensual you feel. I want to ask you a question that I feel like you should ask yourself. And if you guys are interested, head over to my OnlyFans. I have more content about this over there. But what makes you feel sensual? What makes you feel sexy? What makes you feel sexual? What makes you feel aroused? These are questions that might be coming up from your shadow self around this Scorpio full moon. Right next to that card is this is this me card. With the number 4. The number 4 here, which is so freaking funny, you guys. So freaking funny. 2 + 2, 22. This is the card of 22, number 22. And then 4, right next to each other. 4 is the number of our root chakra, of how safe and secure and stable we feel in our relationships, our money, you know, our environment, our lifestyle, our spirituality, all of that stuff, our emotions. What I feel like this Scorpio full moon is going to be bringing out for you. Scorpio rules sexuality. I feel like a lot of you are going to be dealing with a lot of sexuality, just coming into your own sexuality, where a lot of you might have adapted or become something that you are not. And for a lot of you, I feel like this is sexually. Do you say yes when you really don't want to? Do you feel obligated to have sex sometimes? Do you feel, I don't know what this case may be, but I just feel like there's this energy around your sexuality, and you're just like, is this really me? Like, what the fuck? For a lot of you, it could also be that, like, you've just downplayed yourself. You've hidden your light. You've hidden your shine. You know, maybe you don't get dressed up as often as you did. Maybe you've neglecting yourself, your body, your face, your skin. There's a lot of different messages that are coming up in this case because it is a collective reading, but I do feel like there's this sense of loss of self, whether it is where you lost yourself too much in your sexuality, or you lost yourself where you lost your sexuality. And Scorpio full moon is going to kind of be bringing those things up and seeing how you can navigate forward in a way that you release your fullest potential, because the Scorpio full moon, no matter what it does, It will always help you release your fullest potential. Always, always. And then the card right under this is this me card, is distinctive potential. Rely on your faith and the knowledge that nothing is impossible. Use your determination to hang in there until you realize the goal. Okay, so for a lot of you, I feel like you've kind of lost yourself. You've lost your sense of self, your sense of beauty, your sense of attraction. This has a lot to do with all of those things. Your attraction, your beauty, like your skin, your face, things like that. A lot of you, I feel like maybe have closed off your heart because somebody somewhere or something happened where you felt like your body and your face and your skin and your personality and your character was not enough. And the Scorpio full moon comes to tell you, like, you is bullshitting yourself. You are such a beautiful person. And you've lost your sense of self in asking yourself, like, is this me? Is this me? Is this more like me? And this Scorpio full moon is really going to bring you into your own sexuality, your own sensuality, your own self, your own character. And I'm very, very excited for you. I'm very excited for you. There might be a lot of realizations around this time about how sexy you really are. You might get compliments from different people. Something will happen where you come across this energy of confidence within yourself. Something's gonna happen, okay? And then we have these cards right here, which I wanted to get into very specifically for you guys, which is calling in the storm and blend into the environment. So when I first saw these cards, I was like, what the hell? These two things are so opposite each other. The more I started to sit on it and meditate it and look at these cards, I realized that when you blend into your environment and then you call in the storm, after you observe everything, you listen to everything, you see your options, you see your boundaries, you see everything. Listen and observe. There's a lot of power in that, you guys. That's when you get to really call in the storm that you need to call in. You know, sometimes we react really quickly like the scorpion. You feel threatened, you react. Sometimes you get very defensive like the scorpion, right? You feel threatened, you get defensive. But in this case, I feel like the Scorpio full moon, the scorpion energy is coming here to teach us. Sometimes, no matter how badly you want to react, take a step back. Because trust me, every time you take a step back from an experience that you want to react to right away, there's a lot of things that you're missing. You can see a lot, you can observe a lot, you can listen to a lot, you can hear a lot when you just take a little step back, even if it's for 5 minutes. And then you come back to that situation with a little bit more power and clarity, and you can manipulate the situation in your desire, in your favor. And so I feel like this is what these two cards wanted to teach you guys. Sometimes don't react. Don't defend yourself right then and there. Don't attack right then and there. Take a step back. Trust me. Observe, look, research, study, and then attack. Blend in, and then attack. Because you have conformed into this way of being that is not you. And you need to sit back and look and observe and study the environment around you. Just like the scorpion. To see where you need to attack and where you need to walk away from. If you need to get to a new shelter, a new place. You have very distinctive potential to do a lot of things that other people cannot do in this world. And you're hiding it. Because you're questioning, is this me? Because you're living a life that is not you. Sensually, sexually, even in your heart space, I feel like you have accepted a lot of things, blended into a lot of things where you needed to call in somewhat of a storm. Maybe you blended into some situation where you really needed to have a tough conversation, but you didn't want to because maybe fear of conflict. Do you guys hear the ice cream man? Here he comes. Here he comes. Nothing in my readings is a coincidence. I feel like everything is synchronistic. So for the ice cream man to come right in the middle of your reading, I do feel like you guys need to treat yourself. Okay? When was the last time you all treated yourself to a sexy outfit, to a nice meal, to something you wanted? Like, Scorpio full moon is going to make you treat yourself to something. It's going to make you blend into an environment or situation where you're going to have the upper hand when you do call in the storm. You're going to connect with your sensuality, your sexuality, your confidence, your sexiness. I'm very, very excited for you guys. Very excited. And this questioning that you've had for a while, that I feel like a lot of you guys have had, where you question, like, is this really me? Like, what the fuck have I become? Those questions will be answered, and you will find a clear guidance in how to move forward, because you have very distinctive potential. And these needles, like, that's what I see, needles in front of these, I think these are needle-nosed dolphins, I think. But to have a needle right in front of your face means that you guys are ready to push forward. Look at that girl with the sword right in front of her face. Like, y'all, look at her with the sword right in front of her face. Y'all are ready. You're ready to fight. But in order for this fight to occur, I want you guys to know, I want you guys to blend into the environment for a little bit. Observe, listen, look at everybody, look at everything. And it will give you a lot of insight and power and clarity on how to move forward in the best possible way for you that will favor you 110%. Okay? The last card that we have here is aromatherapy. There's a powerful thing around this time for you, especially because you picked this deck, and that is scent and smell. So I want you guys around this whole full moon, new moon, full moon, supermoon, lunar eclipse time to surround yourself with good smells and good scent. Take out your favorite perfume, incense, essential oil. If you guys have oils from my shop, use them. Anything that is scented, oil burners. There's so many things you could do to scent up your house. Room fresheners, candles. Scent is going to be a game changer for you around this full moon time and 7 days after this full moon. Surround yourself, your body, your house, your wallet with scent. Your purse, photos, use a room spray. Do you guys see the ice cream man came back? See that? It's going to be a nice little treat for you. It's going to be a very special treat for you if you work with scent. So I want you guys to burn incense, burn or spray perfume, a room spray, however you want to make your house smell good. Fresh flowers. There's lots of ways that you can make your house smell good. But yes, scent is going to be a very game-changing thing for you guys. Excuse me, I just burped. Okay, me burping right there in the middle of a reading does tell me I want you guys to use peppermint. I want you guys to use peppermint in a scent or a incense, or, you know, throw it in your candles, or get a peppermint plant, peppermint tea. Oh, I just burped again. Oh my Lord. There's something you need to express. There's something you need to say that is hindering you from you being you. So I want you guys to work with peppermint and any kind of scent that you like that uplifts your energy. Peppermint opens the roads. Peppermint opens your doors. Peppermint opens your throat chakra so that you can speak and express yourself in the way that you need to. So peppermint, I think, for you guys would be really good to work with. And yes, that's going to be your reading. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you very, very soon.